Hello, everybody. This is Linda DeVitas, owner and founder of healingsonthego.com. I am the host of Healings on the Go with Linda DeVitas. I'm an author, psychic clairvoyant medium, certified Reiki healer, crystal healer, magnified healer, professional space clearer, and dolphin healer. To find out more of what I do, please go to healingsonthego.com. I would like to introduce my special guest today from iHeartRadio, Kendall Bell, to the show. Yay! Welcome, Kendall. Always nice to have you on.
Always a
Very
pleasure to
nice.
be here. Thank you for having me again.
You're welcome anytime. So, today we're going to talk about the energies and a lot of bumps that we're going through. Actually, June 18th, we have a new moon in Gemini. And you know, Gemini is the yin and the yang, the two personalities. How do you see Gemini's, Kendall?
Uh, like the rest of the world, it's bipolar. Most of us are. We just don't want to
Exactly.
admit it.
Exactly. That is so funny. So this new moon is supposed to manifest itself by the need for changes. So there's going to be a lot of changes coming up, and it's going to be more mental because Geminis are very mental. They think a lot, actually known to be very smart. The dark side of Gemini are really like two different personalities. You would never, like, totally opposite of each other. So this new moon's going to be about thinking, about feelings, sharing your feelings with other people. You may be more talkative during this time because it's all about expression and communication. You might have a better ability to keep yourself like cool headed, meaning like trying to balance your yin and yang, bringing out the good side because new moons are always positive, always bringing in new energy, seeding what you want. But be careful, it says, because of the other side, the cold heart can discourage others. So it's going to be harmony of thinking and feeling is very important. How do new moons affect you, Kendall? But they're all different.
So this new moon, I can attest to this. I spent all day cleaning, um, clearing out all the energies. I've scrubbed down everything. I'm getting rid of all old papers, mail. Made myself a nice hearty vegetable soup. This
Oh,
new moon for
nice.
me right now is just about getting my mind on track for what it is that I want to come forth. Um, these last few months for me have been tough and difficult, very tough and difficult, and just on a spiritual level, I've been tested. But I realized throughout these tests, the only thing that really sets me back is when I do not perform my practices, when I do not get prepared for what's to come, when I am not cleansing my crystals, when I'm not meditating, when I'm not doing all those little things, getting right out of bed, all these little things, they start to clutter up. And then you start to have all of this spiritual debt. So the new moons for me is about clearing all my spiritual debt and getting myself ready for the blessings that are going to come forth, the things that I want to manifest into reality.
That's true. And do you know the funny thing is sometimes they say full moon brings like crazy people. I honestly think new moons do that. Because
Honestly,
yeah, go
right.
ahead.
Every day is a day for crazy, you know. So, but yes, you are right around new moons and full moons. But yeah, new moons I believe more because people don't really fully understand what's going on within their bodies and what they need to be doing. If you got a new moon or a full moon coming on, no matter what, you gotta make sure that you're mentally and you're physically and you're spiritually prepared. That they're always here to make you have to perform, and if
Exactly.
you can't perform because you know you got old oil in your junk, you know, in your body, and then you're gonna be frustrated, you're gonna be flustered, you're gonna be easily tempered. All sorts of things are gonna happen to you, and you can blame the moons all you want, but
Exactly.
we got to get to a point where we know what's coming and we know what we need to do, and this just comes from testing ourselves and putting ourselves through the ringer and observing, and being conscious mind about what it is that is going on around us.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes with the new moon, I feel like there's the stories because moons, new moons, full moons, they intensify the energy. So depends on how you're feeling, it will make you feel it that much stronger. So I always get like new moon when something really drastic happens, and I'm like, what happened now? So it's like crazy. I just want to welcome real quick Anne and Ria. Welcome everybody.
Hey,
Welcome.
man.
Thank you for
Hey,
tuning
Ria.
in. Please,
Always a
everybody,
pleasure.
like and share.
You have a faithful crowd here.
Yes, they're very
That's a
sweet.
blessing. That's a major blessing.
Definitely. They are a blessing, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, yeah, you're right. It does bring in different energy, crazy energy sometimes, but we have to also say that it is a time of manifestation, and you can do it in several ways. You know, some people like to write things down during the new moon, manifest it that way, or they do their own little rituals. I do my candles, which I love doing. It's okay, Anne. Thank you for joining. Anne says sorry she's late.
Never late. Always on time. You showed up.
Exactly. Thank you for showing up. You're so sweet. So, yeah, you write down exactly what you want. I love my candles, which, for those of you that don't know, they're candle manifestation channeling. And during that time, I do healings. Also, it can be for money, for love, different areas. And what happens is I get channeled different information from my spirit guides, and I write down a 2-page channeling and the wax reading. And since they're so successful, you can go to my Google Maps and type in Healings on the Go. I have 5-star reviews, which is great. Thanks to God and his energy and the angels that come through. They're very successful. Actually, I want to write another book about the Trinity candles, how they helped. Trinity candles are like life and death situations. So that's when they're 3 consecutively, and they, knock on wood, the 10 that I've done, all been successful. So if anyone wants to find the candles, they can go to healingsonthego.com. And if you saw the show, just message me and I'll give you a discount off the listed price. So, what's a good ritual for you, Kendall, during the new moon?
During the new moon, I like to cleanse my house, cleanse my crystals, and I like to write down what it is that are my goals, what it is that I'm trying to accomplish, and make sure that I put it in writing because I realize a lot of the things that we want to manifest, we really don't get them if we're not putting them in writing. We got to see them and we got to visualize them.
Yes.
I actually do a lot of karmic clearing as well. I try to make peace with myself, try to make peace with the people that are around me. I do a lot of reflecting around these times just to see, why people are in my life, why certain situations are in my life, why certain mindsets are in my life, and then I write those down and release those as well. Um,
That's a good one.
yeah, it's and again when we're not doing these things, that's when we get off, and that's when we start to lose faith and we start to lose sight of who we really are. And
Exactly.
me, I like to be upfront about all the things that I go through because I feel like that's what helps us all connect the
Exactly.
vulnerabilities. Why I love your show,
Ah, you're
because
so
I can
sweet.
be
Thank
I
you.
can be vulnerable and I can speak, and there's a script, but there's really no script. It's just us being. So.
Us being real and talking our stories, which
And it's
is
always around the new moon or the full moon too. You ever notice that?
really, oh yeah,
Yeah,
'cause we're always
those types
talking
of
about
shows.
the energy.
We're always coming around. It's always around
It's
these
true,
times.
actually. You're right. You're always right, and it's true. It's so funny because we're always talking about what energy is coming up or what we just went through.
Hmm. It's true.
So people that want to know about like how to handle anxiety. So anxiety, I just want to elaborate more on it. I went through a lot of severe anxiety when I was younger, like really bad. And not only is it the fear of the future, but it's like a persistent thought that keeps haunting your mind. And I do want to bring awareness that everything in your mind is not always your thoughts. And I went through a lot of paranormal activity in my house where I was born and raised. And if anyone wants to find the book at healingsonthego.com, it's my journey from darkness to the light. And this this journey that I had was very difficult. So I understand totally. We can both empathize what anxiety is. We went through so much. Kendall went through his a lot. So anxiety is like the worst ever. It haunts you, cripples you, makes you want to stay in bed, you know. It's just horrible. So
Yeah.
tell us about your experience, Kendall, with
Um,
anxiety.
so anxiety, one of the toughest things with anxiety is challenging the negative thoughts, turning the negative thoughts into positives. That's one of the things these last few months that I was highly focused on overcoming is letting go of the why it happened and understanding that it's supposed to happen and it's how I handle it. Um, the anxious thoughts, those are the ones that can kill you. Those are
Yes.
the ones that can put you down. For some time in my life, I had to go to the hospital because of my anxiety
Wow.
and the thoughts, but a lot of it was because of the energy that I was putting into the thoughts.
Yeah.
I didn't separate myself from the thoughts, and it's about challenging and separating yourself from the thoughts and understanding that we can't control these outside things. And seeking support was one of the things that was tough for me because I've always been on my own. I've always had to take care of myself. I had to live a lot of my life by myself, separated from my family. So in my mind now as an adult, I don't go to people for things. So now in my adulthood in this present time, I do, but it's you have to be somebody very special. So if you're battling thoughts, anxiety, if you're depressed or whatever you're going through internally that's making you feel uncomfortable, challenge these thoughts and seek help and seek help from somebody who loves the same way that you love. Don't just go and seek help from somebody who speaks badly about every single person that they hang out with when they're with you. Because they're not gonna be genuine in their truth and what they're bringing to the table. They're gonna take your pain and they're gonna use it as something to make themselves feel more powerful. Just be more cautious about who you're letting in. Another thing for me with anxiety, that was very tough for me was just getting out of my own way and limiting my stressors. Getting out of my own way in the terms of you know knowing that I am the one in control. And I'm only in control of the way that I respond. I'm not in control of the way things are played out. It's just the way that I respond. So just practicing mindfulness, that
Yeah.
comes, it's like hand in hand with it, meditating and pausing before I speak, because I'm a Pisces, and I've adapted to every single astrological sign there is. So whether good and bad, I've adapted. I've been around every single person. So I know one of the things with me is I can be very kind or I can be very unkind. And that's it, but that's only when I react and I take things personal. So
Exactly.
not taking things personal and not letting the things that you can't control diminish your spirit. I think all of us battle this, and again, I like to be real. I don't like to talk like I'm some sort of guru. Like I'm just like you, all of you, and I hope that these words can help you, see the truth within yourself, because we're all the same. We're just in different
Exactly.
avatars. That's
You're a
all.
spiritual warrior. God bless you because you're very strong and you don't give yourself enough credit. You've gone through so many things all by yourself, and look at you now. So, for people that want to give up, don't give up. Look at Kendall. He went through a lot of hell. If he has so much advice to give other people. You could have easily given up many times, but you're a strong warrior. God
Thank
bless
you.
you with a lot of gifts, and I'm proud of you.
Thank
Really,
you.
because I know what you go through, and and he's still
Yeah.
happy, and he's still glowing, and he's still shining. So give
You
yourself
know,
a hug.
no seed can grow unless it's in the darkness. So it's the best advice that I can give to anybody while they're in the darkness is become the light, become the light, become the water, become the nurturer. and be the reason why you grow. Because at the end of the day, it's all up to you and the way that you perceive the situations that you're going through. Perspective is the most important thing that we can have, no matter what. You can be a millionaire, billionaire without a positive perspective and live a trashy life. So it's like we got to really just fine tune our perspectives and flock towards those like Linda, those that are like you, like your tribe. If you're in a place and you're in a mindset where you're surrounded by all of these negative folks and these beings and you don't want to be that, then get yourself out of this situation. I'd rather be alone than be surrounded by others and feel alone. I think that's worse than actually being alone. It took me some time to get comfortable with being alone, but now I'm alone a lot of the time. And now I'm picky and choosy about the people that I give my energy to, because I will start to feel myself drifting away when I'm in these situations that I know I'm not supposed to be in, or I'm in a room I'm not supposed to be in. You don't want to be in these situations. I don't walk in rooms where I can feel and hear internally people being human, and not really realizing that, I'm just an extension of you. I will go in these rooms because I have to, but I'm not staying there long, and I'm not opening up my being. I'm not opening up my heart the way that I should a lot of the times. And I got to work on that, because again, everywhere we go, we're supposed to be ourselves, and we're supposed to shine our lights in the midst of darkness. So.
Exactly. And with that thought, we'll be right back right after this commercial break. Stay tuned, everybody. Hi, I am Linda DeVitis. I am a psychic clairvoyant medium and certified healer. I have also written a book, My Journey from Darkness to the Light, which is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and on my website, www.healingsonthego.com. If you would like to book an appointment with me, call me at 917-929-4935. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back with my special guest from iHeartRadio, Kendall Bell. Yay! Welcome, welcome. Kendall, I don't know, I was picking up someone watching. I do have a vision of someone, a male, also tan skin, and I feel like someone I'm being drawn now to talk about suicide, because I feel like this person is very close to it. So if anyone's watching with that description, I feel that you need to hear from Kendall's side and my side. We all go through things younger where things try to test us, but don't give up, because you're here for a reason. And if we didn't go through our darkness, we would never, like I would never be into healing, so it's always a reason why you're going through it, and don't give up, because a lot of people, I know it's hard and they just want to, end it, but don't, because I feel this man very strong. It just came like in my head to talk about suicide. And there's a lot of people and this person has a lot of stress, like chest pain. And I know what that feels like. I empathize. I used to get a lot of anxiety and stress. Sometimes it's very unbearable when I was younger. But the only thing you need to know is um, talking about it, and do not giving up. Really, do not give up, because you're here for a reason. And later on, you're going to see that this happened for a reason. I know sometimes things are hard when you're in the situation and you just don't feel like anything is going to get better, but it will. And keep praying, because God listens to everyone's prayers. No one's extra special. I'm not extra special. You know, God is listening, and ask for the angels to come and help and intervene with you, because they cannot help you unless you ask, because we have free will. So they can't just come and do what they want. You have to ask them to help you, and they will. And reach out, and you can reach out to me on Facebook Messenger. So I just want to get that across, because I just felt this so strong as we're talking. I don't know if this person's watching the live or later will watch it, but it was pushing me to talk about it. You talk about it too, Kendall.
That's amazing that you can pick up on that.
Yeah, I felt it so strong. Yeah.
Suicidal thoughts usually come when we're lower in vibration.
Yes.
That's the only time they can come through. I battled with it my whole entire life growing up. I always felt unloved. I always felt like I didn't fit in. I always felt like my family didn't accept me, and I just wanted to run. I just wanted to just give up. I wanted to give up a lot of the times, especially when I was in group homes and foster homes, and I would sit back and I would be in my mind like, why didn't nobody come and get me? Why didn't until the day I took back my life and I ran away. And I was the first person to ever successfully run away from this place, but I did it with my determination in who I was, and I had to take control of my life, because being in there made me feel like I wanted to die, and these thoughts were coming into my mind, but it wasn't about that. It was about me taking control. I'll tell you a little short story.
Go ahead.
So while I was in this, group home, my social worker used to come, and she came right before Christmas. And right before Christmas, nobody had came. I've already been in there 3 months. Nobody came. So this whole entire time, 3 months, when she would come, I would memorize her handwriting. And then Christmas time came when you were allowed to go home, and I forged her handwriting on the go home list. And I got away with it. I got forged her handwriting for me and another person, and got away with it. And they dropped me off in the middle of Somerville, Massachusetts, and that was it. They never saw me again. I ran away I was 14 years old, and I did this. But this goes to go back to that mindset and how it plagued me for a long time. It was in my life for a long time, but the only thing that ever prevailed was me taking control of my life, me making sure that I am the one who was calling the shots, that I am the one who understands that whatever it is that I'm going through, I'm growing through it. And if there's a wall in front of me, I'm either going to knock it down or I'm going to climb over it. But suicidal thoughts, they only come in when we stay down in the mud.
That's right, because you're aligned on their vibration. That's where the lower dimensions are. And if you stay down there long enough, they're going to start playing with you, and they're going to want to take you, because misery loves company. And a quick hello to Michelle. Thank you, Michelle, for tuning in. So yeah, when you stay down there long, they're going to play with your head, because how do spirits talk? They always tell them through the mind. They download information. They're not in front of you. They're putting thoughts in your head, and they're going to tell you everything you don't want to hear, that you're not good enough. You shouldn't be here. Nobody loves you. When I was younger, I've had those experiences too. And I knew that, I'm like, where is this coming from? I'm not even thinking about stuff like that. So yeah, they'll come and try to get you. And that's when you have to be strong, because you are here for a purpose. And like I said, if it wasn't for the darkness, we wouldn't experience the light.
It's true. And sometimes people that you're connected to, they project onto you as well. Don't get me wrong, I would never wish death on another person, but there are others out here that do that. So you have to understand that too. You gotta protect yourself. You gotta do protection spells, or whatever it is that you want to call it. I know some people don't believe in the word spell, but if you think about it, everything's a spell, because look, spelling, writing, abracadabra, everything, words cast spells, and everything's a spell. So if you're gonna be out here cursing and casting spells, cast good ones to protect yourself, or cast spells to create harmony within the world, and bless others, because all those things are a reflection of who you are, and those are what stick to you. But know that these thoughts that come through your mind sometimes are not yours, and when you're there, get out of there. Go outside, go run. You just get out of that mindset, get out of that environment, because staying there is where you're going to be stuck, and when you're stuck, it's harder to get out. but you're the only one that can unstuck you.
Yes. I love you too, Michelle. You're so sweet. She's a sweetheart. And also, thoughts are not real till we make them real. So,
Mm,
again, they are not real. They're just playing with your head. And they will come to you, but you have to be an observer. That's what I tell people. Look at it from the outside and see, does it feel good? If it feels good, okay, continue thinking about it. If it doesn't feel good, see it like a cloud and try to pass. I know it's not easy, but if you keep focusing on it, then that's when it's going to become an anxiety attack, a panic attack, and it's going to get worse and worse. So try to
yes.
shift your focus. And I had a therapist that I know, she would always say, focus on two things, because sometimes you focus on one thing, but it's still in your thoughts. So you got to focus on, let's say, you're breathing, and then focus on your toes or do something like that, because it's going to try to like shift you in a way to get a panic attack. And
Hmm.
also think of the solution. Focus on the solution, not the problem. Because if you keep thinking of the problem, it's going to be more problems. So think, okay, what am I going to do? What's the worst thing that can happen? I used to think like that too. And me and my twin used to always have this song. We would go, we're going to conquer it. What you going to do? We're going to conquer it. We went through hell too. We had so many fears. I think I've been scared of everything when I was little. I trust me, any fear, I've been through it. So I can relate to it. And I guess I had to experience it for a reason, so I can empathize with the person. Like, I know how you feel. You know what I mean? So it's just very hard. But anxiety, stress, fear all come together, and they're all on a vibrational wheel. Believe it or not, anger is a little bit higher than anxiety, because it's better to get mad than be scared, because it's a bump up. So I rather be mad than feel scared, because what happens then, you're like crippled, you can't move, you stay home, you're scared of everything. I used to be scared of everything. I really was. I was scared to leave the house. I was When I was younger, I went through so much trauma.
We
So
live and we learn, right?
yeah. And you too. You went through a lot of stuff as well. Tell us a story, Kendall.
I think we all do. I think we all do, and I wholeheartedly believe that, our darkness is our light. It's the same thing, and it's all intertwined, and we need them in order to grow. Um, there was a time in my life where, I was, again, we're gonna go back, to, when I was homeless after running away, and I was, roaming the streets, and I was sleeping in my friends' closets, and I was being in all these different homes. But even though I was going through so much darkness, even though I was going through so much pain, when I was in these homes with my friends and their moms and their dad, I was giving them love and I was receiving love. They didn't know. They probably didn't know what was going on with me, but in my mind, they didn't know, because we all thought it was this big secret. But no matter what, where I was when I was there was love. I would take the trash out for them. I would do all the little things, that my friends weren't necessarily even doing. And I was getting that love, and I was getting that nurturing that I wasn't able to receive from my parents. So when I look back and I see all these little things in my life and others' life. Everywhere you go, everywhere you're at is where you're supposed to be. It's just about how we look at it. Excuse my words. How we look at it, and how we view the environment that we're in and what it's supposed to be teaching us. Um, yeah.
And it's funny because, sometimes I say to myself, I must have been drunk on the other side when I picked my life. I must have been drunk or on
This is my
drugs.
last time. This is my last time. I'm done being a human. I'm done. I'm
Yeah,
done.
good
Done. Done. I
Lord.
don't want to be human anymore. I'm good.
We
I
picked
just I just
college
wanna I just
credit.
wanna be free and be me. Yeah, we did. College credits and some. We're taking AP chemistry over here.
We're like, all right, let's pick all the hard stuff. And when we come down here, we're like, ah. So
I'm done. No more. No more.
that's the
This is the last time. This is my last run.
thing. They say that only the strong souls come here. The other souls on the other side, they're like freaked out, and they're like, oh my God, we would never go to Earth. Earth is supposed to be the most dense Most negative of all. You know what I mean? Kendall, I hope you didn't freeze. Are you there? I hope he didn't freeze. I think he got stuck. Are you
Yeah, I've
there,
been here
Kendall?
about
Okay, good.
uh,
Because your face froze. Are you okay? Well, you're there, right? The connection must have gone a
yeah,
little bit crazy. Okay, good.
that was the energy.
Yeah, the energies are very strong, especially they say 5 days before the new moon is when they're very powerful. And again, in Gemini. So Gemini is the yin and the yang. It's all about mental thinking, about clarity, about, just being able to shift yourself. It's going to be okay. Don't worry. It's how we feel. And when you're in a good mood, it will be intensified. Just write down your
Yes,
wishes and feel powerful. You're there, Kendall, right? I keep thinking you're stuck.
I'm here.
So,
Yeah, right. I'm getting
do you know a
frozen
lot
in
of
time.
Geminis?
I know a few. I know a few. You
They're
know, you know
taking you
what's
in the.
funny? You know what's funny is the ones that I do know, they're pretty even keel. They're pretty chill. They do have a side to them, but it takes a lot for them to rip it out. But you don't want to see it. You should never want to force a person to show you their dark side. And a little bit of advice
Oh,
for
yeah.
everybody: as kind as a person can
That's
be,
right.
is as vicious as they can be. Right? So always know
Right,
that.
right.
A lot of the time, you see kind people, they've been through some stuff. People look at me and they're like, "Why is this kid so nice?" Because I've been through some stuff and I know how it feels to not feel good about myself, and I know how it feels to be treated wrong. So I don't like to do it to others, and I know how it feels when I treat others wrong as well. I think I beat myself up more than I than anybody. If I do something wrong, I'm so like critical of myself and my actions, and I think that we all should be. I think this world would be a better place if we all just took responsibility for our actions and never just allowed things to go unsaid and undone within ourselves. Okay, that person didn't see it, but God saw it. You don't believe in God, you saw it. Can you look yourself in the mirror? Can you look yourself in the mirror for what you've done? You're gonna justify what you've done, because whatever you do, how you respond is a reflection of you. No matter how you try to
Exactly.
play it out, it is a reflection of who you are. No matter what,
Exactly.
doesn't matter.
And that's what
It's
I
never
tell
anybody's
people.
fault.
That's
Yeah.
right. Level up, because
I learned that through experience.
go ahead. Because you were getting cut off. Go
Yes, and
ahead.
the higher. Oh, am I getting cut off?
No, now you're
Am I
okay.
getting
Go
cut off
ahead.
still?
You were
All right.
before.
Yeah, and when you said the word leveling up. When you're leveling up, that's when the daggers come out. That's when the pitchforks come out. That's when people from your past come out with stories. That's when things are getting thrown at you from the crowd. Like that's when all these. And a lot of the times, it's just reflections of who you used to be. Just trying to drag you back in. Everything's your reflection. That's all. Nothing's really personal, but it's personal. It's your person and who you are, and everything you see is a reflection of you. No matter how you see it, no matter how you view it, our eyes only see so much. But if you really look deep enough, everybody's a reflection of you, your past, present, or your future. You choose which one you want to stay with. that It's very
Exactly.
simple, complicated but simple.
And you can't just stay down in the mud, because then what's going to happen? You're not leveling up. Your soul is not here to suffer. That's why I tell people, okay, I get depressed too, but I'm not going to stay down there, because what
Yeah.
good is that going to do? Health issues, everything's going to spiral down. So try to take the step, because only you can help yourself. They can talk you to death and put all these positive things in your head, but who's going to make the final step? You are. You got to really push yourself and say, you know what? I'm going to do it, and really motivate yourself, because life is too short. You don't want to go to the other side and say, wow, I just wasted all my time being miserable for no reason. So that's what's going to happen. We're going to go through a life review, and we're going to be like, oh my God, I was worried about that. Just thinking 100 years from now, you're not going to be worried about that no more. So enjoy your life while you're here. You're here to be happy. Okay, we do go through bumps and all that, but it will level out, and try to focus on the positive. Like switch your, I know it's not easy. Some people are like, oh, you don't know what I went through, but slowly, even day by day, little by little, you know, step by step. You'll, and even if you can't do it, talk to someone about it. Just don't stay down so long. Okay, everybody, I'm going to take a quick commercial break and we will be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned, everybody. Hi, I am Linda DeVitis. I am a psychic clairvoyant medium and certified healer. I have also written a book, My Journey from Darkness to the Light, which is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and on my website, www.healingsonthego.com. If you would like to book an appointment with me, call me at 917-929-4935. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back with my special guest, Kendall Bell. Yay! Did you ever hear that life is a big joke? We're like getting sad over no reason. Just think about it. What you're really upset over, is it really worth it? No. Like in breakups, do you think the other person's sitting there crying? No. Who is it hurting? Yourself. Everything is about you, because whatever is happening, you're projecting it will hurt you inside. So again, I know every circumstance is hard and people are doing the best you can. That's all you can do. Do the best you can. Little by little, up the ladder it goes. Kendall and sends you hearts. She's so sweet.
Hey, Ann, I appreciate your energy always.
The universe is always testing us. So did you ever notice when you're leveling up is when the little snakes come out and want to play?
Oh,
all the
man.
time.
It's all the time too, and it doesn't. It's like it's unnecessary, but it is necessary because we always got to fine tune ourselves. We always got to make sure that we're staying immune to these things, because again, when you get status, when you get status within yourself, when you get status within the public, when you get status, in general in life, that's when you're known, and that's when people start to show, who they really are. And again, they're reflections of you and how you respond. I fine tune people because now I don't even respond. I don't respond. I don't care about narratives. You shouldn't either. I don't care about past versions of myself that I needed in order for me to grow, to show me, because those are the beta versions. Nobody's allowed to talk to you about the old beta versions of yourself. Look at your phone. Why is your phone allowed to get upgrades but you're not? You go and trash your phone, your old phone? No, it was just you just needed a new download, needed a new upgrade, and that's what it comes down to.
Yep. And we're going up the ladder. So we're leveling out. So you're not going to be, it's like being, certain people, I hear certain stories where, hi, Lorraine, welcome, everybody. Please do like and share. I hear stories about like people doing things that they're still in diapers energetically, and not to judge anybody, but if you see something is not serving your highest good, do not stay in that vibration. You're not supposed to. It's like you have to grow up. Certain things you're doing is something that you would do when you're a child. So you have to grow up, level up. And how you do that? By going up the ladder and, not only maturing spiritually, but also mentally. Certain people are stuck in the ways that are very lower vibration, and they have to, then they wonder why things happen to them and why things are, the way they are. But I always suggest that when you look and analyze, what are you focusing on? It's talking about who you are, your self projection. If you're still stuck in things that are very low dimensional, very low vibration, it's going to affect you and your aura. So as we level up, we're going through different phases. And that's how, when you hit the next phase, you're going to be tested, you're going to be rumbled, and then you're clear, then you go on to the next. And it's not easy, but it's essential. Also, spiritual growth. We're not here to be like how we were when we were 2 years old. you know, you grow up, and you grow up mentally too, and spiritually.
Mhm.
That's how I see
Yeah.
it.
Love like a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Definitely hold love like a 2-year-old.
Well, yeah, but not the negative.
Not the negative. They say the most successful adult is the one who remembered how to love when they were a child. So
Yes.
no matter
The
what it is that you've
positive.
accomplished in your life, yes, no matter what it is you've accomplished in your life, no matter how many scholarships you have, degrees you have, any of your accolades, they don't matter how much money you have. If you don't have love in your heart, then those things are obsolete. They mean nothing. You're not
Exactly.
happy.
That's right. Doesn't matter how much money you have. Doesn't matter at all. It all matters how you think, and how you help people, and how you're humble. No matter how you
Correct.
go, if someone's very stuck up, give me a break. Like, I see certain people, I'm like, come on, girl. You have to be humble. You can't always, they, it's good to be confident, but it's not good to think that you're all that. Even Jesus didn't think that way, let alone us, human, humble people, you know. And I believe when you're very spiritual, you're not supposed to think that way at all. I've actually, through my spiritual teacher, when I was learning Reiki, she said when people think like that, they get stripped off their gifts. You're not here to be conceited, you're here to help. It's a very humble mission. And the true healers are very humble. They don't brag that, you know, they're God's gift to the planet. When I do healings, I always thank God, because thank God it happened from His power. The prayers, I'm just like the middleman, messenger, kind of receiving the energy and sending it out. Without God, nothing exists. We're all created through God. People that don't believe in God, well, that's okay. I respect everyone's feelings. But my um, thought is of that, the universe and God, we are just here in humble form to serve others. Light workers are here to uplift the energy. We all have our own mission, and we're all going through stages. You can't judge a homeless person and say, oh, he's low. No, he's not. You don't even know what he went through. I hate when people, you know, degrade people, like, oh, he's trashy. How can you say that? He's a human being. So always think how you would feel being in their shoes, and help them as much as you can. That's how was raised, born and raised, to always give, 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 and help people. We never judged people, we never degraded them. During Thanksgiving, we invited homeless people to our house so they can have
Mm.
a meal. My mom and dad were the most generous people. God bless them. My Father in heaven. But basically, that's what it is. We're here to help and not to judge. You can't make fun of someone. How are you going to help them? That's the question. Can you help them? I'm not here to make fun of anybody. So that's the story.
Power of empathy, superpower. We're all born with
Exactly.
it. We just forgot how to use it. Um,
Exactly.
yes, yeah. Putting yourself in another person's shoes, it's a high honor of God. It's righteousness. And I believe that we can solve 75% of the world's problems if we just looked at every single person as a reflection of ourselves in the story. If we just looked at everybody, how you treat that person is you. Whatever you do to that person is going to happen to you. However you look at that person, someone's going to look at you. If we just hold this mindset, a lot of the problems we have would be diminished, wiped away, just like that. Getting back to the way it
Yes.
was in the tribal times where everyone was accepting of and everybody understood that each person has a role, each person has something to offer. And by you denying this person's offering, you're denying a part of yourself. no matter what it is, whether it be a positive or a negative, it's the way that you view and how you receive. Because that's all it really comes down to. Whatever it is that you put your thoughts into or you put your heart into is what you're going to manifest internally, which in return projects externally.
And getting off the subject for a second, wow, Kendall, you know what I saw in back of you? A whale's tail. Isn't that something? After the show, I want you to
Whales.
Google it. I swear, I saw a tail, huge one of a whale down, like, oh my goodness. I'm feeling very psychic today. So if anyone wants to ask one question, I would read them.
What is that? I mean,
But I feel very open today. My visions are like popping out. So yeah, that's what I saw very clearly. So later, you know, the dolphins and the whales are the highest healers of the earth. That's why they kill them, because anything that's gonna uplift the
I
energy,
do.
they're just gonna, you know, take away. So anyway, check it out and see what the whale's tail, because I saw it right in back of your, actually I thought it was a statue, and I'm looking like, oh my god, but it's not. It's like huge of a whale's tail. It was up there by your
Really?
show, I
Wow.
swear. So
Which
the
one? This
whale's
one?
right in back of, yeah, right in back of you where that cup is. It was right there. You see it in back of
Okay, I
you?
have to check it
The
out.
bronze
I
cup.
I see the
Yeah,
cup. I don't see the tail. I'm gonna definitely
yeah.
look it up.
I saw it right in my vision. It was huge. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So I had to mention that before I forget, because I see things and then they're gone. So I, oh my God, so that is so funny. But going back to the subject, yes, so we're being tested, and you know, the good, when you do good, you feel good and you help. You know, to me, doing good is helping people, helping myself too. I would always neglect myself. Like I would put everyone first. And then if I had time, which by then I was too lazy to help myself, and I learned a big lesson, because if I don't help myself and I don't heal myself, how am I going to help others? And I used to get so
Mhm.
drained at stuff. So now I'm learning my own lesson. You got to help yourself too, Linda. That's what I say to myself. You know, sometimes when I do healings, it can, you know, I
Mm.
love doing them, but sometimes it could just drain me for like a day or two. And I feel like so exhausted, especially when people are very heavy. But again, it comes with the price. And I do love doing it. It's my passion and stuff. But I do have to heal myself too. So I take my own advice, and I've been doing that, you know, taking time to just relax a little bit. Linda, do you want a candle? Yes, I do. You know what they say? They're like, if you talk back to yourself, it's funny. Your spirit guides are always channeling through you. You know, always listen to your guidance. You always get messages, whether it's numbers, whether it's like Kendall with the whale. You have to let me know later what that means. I have to look it up too. So we're all always being given guidance. And if we quiet our minds, we will listen. You know, think of it like God's talking through you, which He is every minute of the day. Everything means something, whether you find a feather on the floor or you see a sign all of a sudden that everything will be okay. Everything's talking. We just have to quiet our mind and pay attention. And don't write it off. You know, a lot of people write it off and like, oh, that's just a coincidence. They are no coincidences. It's happening for a reason, and they are talking through us.
Truth. Very true.
Yeah.
No coincidence. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah.
But
It's
again,
like,
we live in a world where thinking like this will deem you crazy or deem you, somebody who shouldn't be taken serious. But
it's
when
okay.
you really go back to when time started, that's how it was. That was the mindset. There was no coincidence. Everything was an experience. Everything was supposed to be experienced. This is how we got to where we are right now in present day. If we didn't look at everything, with not, complete seriousness, but something to explore and seeing a deeper meaning to it, we wouldn't have none of what we have right now around us. It all started internally, but it all started with that mindset.
Yeah. And they will think that, you know, you're crazy. It's okay. Crazy is a good thing, because they say crazy when they can't explain it. They don't understand it. That's when you're crazy. But we know better, you know. So when you open the door and try to broaden your mind and kind of expand it, be a little open minded, then you'll understand that things are always talking through you, whether
Mm.
it's a sign, everything. Well, what I mean is signs that are presented to you, everything means something. Even if a black, you know, some people say, oh, that's just like a myth or, superstition when like a croaking raven will come to your house and start croaking, that sound, ah, that's usually
Mhm.
a sign that someone's gonna die. And I see your aura too, by the way, Kendall. You have a very
That's my
nice. I'm like reading you now. You have a very nice light blue around you, turquoise. That
I'm
is
trying to get
funny.
better. Thank you for noticing.
Yes,
I've been working on myself. I've
yeah,
been
it
doing a lot of
shows.
work on myself in the past 24 hours mainly. But thank you for noticing.
Yes, you have pink and turquoise. You're doing a
Yeah,
great
yeah. I think we all are, and I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of everybody who's out here, and they just, you keep going and you keep trying to find a deeper meaning to your existence, and you stay kind, and you're not allowing this world to destroy you and turn you into what it wants you to be, and you're being the one to create the world that you want to see. Shout out to you. That's who
Ah,
you are. You're
thank
my family. That's what connects us.
Yes.
That's why me and you are the way that we are. That's how I connect with the people that are outside of us, because I don't do friendships. Growing up without my family, I had to make the world my family. So there's a certain sort of um, energy that you got to have. There's certain morals that you have to have inside of you, a certain light you have to have inside of you. And if you have that inside of you, you're my family. That's
Yeah.
just the way that I see the world. And it's helped get me to this point. And it's something that I hold on to daily. And I love to surround myself with people who share this mindset as well. And that's where I'm at in my life. And I've been teaching it to people who don't necessarily know what I'm saying because they've always had their family. But
Yeah.
they're seeing through me how, I didn't have mine as much as I should have, but like I'm very family oriented. I have a lot of love in me. I have a lot of things, old school stuff. Shout out to my grandma, put these things in me before she passed. But that's the importance of our elders. That's the importance of us because we're the next generation of elders, whether we want to see that or not. We're the next ancestors. If you're here right now, you're gonna be an ancestor soon. So get your cards right. You know what I mean? Figure it out now so you can bless the younger generations under you from another realm. That's what you
Yeah.
do. We're more powerful outside of this avatar.
Exactly. And just a quick new little tips of how to heal yourself. What do you recommend, Kendall? Like something that you do when you feel stressed out, and then I'll say what I feel.
I go to the ocean. I live by the ocean, so I always go to the ocean, and I'll if I'm not by my house, I will go where trees are. Nature's my number one healer. Just getting out and eating properly. Like I made a vegetable soup tonight, and I'm gonna go walk the beach. Those two things put together. Oh man, it's amazing. It's magic.
Exactly. And what I do, I love my candles. And I have to say that to me, when I feel something negative, I do light my own candles, which I would never promote anything if I didn't think that they help. They, to
Hmm.
me, help me a lot because I'm always so open to them that I feel the energy come through me right away. So to me,
Hmm.
I do candles. And also, I do a lot of sound healing too. I love sound healing. And definitely the trees and stuff. Too bad I'm not near an ocean because I would always be there. But
Ocean is the place to be.
exactly. So if someone would like to find you, Kendall, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at rarebreed_617, and you can find me on Facebook at Rarebreed Universe.
Ah, it was such a pleasure to have you on, and I can't believe the hour flew by like 10 seconds.
It
So
always does when we're on.
crazy. It's
It
always
always
such a
does.
pleasure. Any
Thank you
last
for
words, Kendall?
um, just to everybody, stay beautiful, stay being you. Don't let these outside things mess you up internally, and know that you were born for a reason. You were born for greatness. You feel it inside of you. You know what's inside of you. You're just not surrounded by those who are here to help you see it within yourself and believe it. I love you, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you too. And also, if you guys want to find me, you can find me on my site, healingsonthego.com, or Facebook, Linda Davidas, Davetas, Instagram, TikTok. I'm all over the place. Thank you guys so much for
Yeah.
tuning in. You guys are awesome, and we love you lots. Stay well and stay happy. God bless each and every one of you. Have a great night, everybody.